everyone, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Ninja, Call of Duty players are disgusted and mentally abused. So before we get into this, Modern Warfare 3 does come out later this month. I've seen the videos. I refuse to pay the pre-order for the beta because I'm starting to get very annoyed by that stuff, but I've seen it. A lot of people say that it's good multiplayer. It's traditional Call of Duty. It refines MW2's combat system, and people are generally favorable about it, but it's also oversaturated with cheaters, as you can see here. So this is on the PlayStation 5. So yeah, just expect that when the game comes out, because Call of Duty games run in a cycle. First time it comes out, the netcode, server issues, cheaters are everywhere. After 6 months, they fix most of the issues, then they add more content. Right now, MW3's content is basically just recycled content from legacy maps from past Call of Duty games like Skid Row, Rust, other stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they just rehash Nuketown again and do the 24-hour event. I like Nuketown, but come on, how many times are people going to be like, yay, Nuketown, let's do this again, double XP. But yeah, it just seems that way. I did like MW1, the Reboots campaign. It was actually dark, gritty, and very eventful, at least for the first half. The last half I wasn't a fan of, especially with MW2's content. The reboot with General Price's betrayal was just so stupid. Like, the original, it was very laid out well. Like, call me what you will about Boomer, rose-colored glasses, but in the original, he was a lot more methodical about how he was established in his major betrayal, about how he's showcasing hyper nationalism in the most extreme way by manipulating the US military in order to galvanize people within the public sphere into joining up in order to maximize recruit. It was actually very well put together. And then you have MW2 reboots, and where he's just like, yep, let's get the mercenary organization to betray our loyal soldiers who didn't even see it coming on foreign territory with a base that wasn't theirs. You know, the base wasn't even theirs. Take it over and then start, you know, ransacking a civilian town. Yeah, there were a bunch of like drug dealers and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like, don't you think like everyone else would be asking questions about that, as opposed to the original where it was very laid out in a very effective way to showcase no one's going to question him? In that situation, everyone was going to question you. Like the other generals, the US government, they're going to be like, why is this private military organization under your payroll doing this? Like, that's all they're going to do. They're going to be like, why are you doing this? What's going on? Yeah. And the multiplayer also fell victim to the same process. Cheaters, netcode issues, all that stuff. Then 6 months later, they fixed all the issues, and now they're going to abandon it for the new game. Which, by the way, they stated they were not going to do yearly releases of Call of Duty games, and this was going to be a 2-year game where they had updates and stuff like that. Lied about that. Selling this, which was supposed to be an expansion, rumored expansion for Modern Warfare 2. Sell it at full price, legacy content, barely any up. It's just like, it's such an Activision thing to do. But let's get into the article. In a clip taken from a recent live stream, world-renowned streamer Tyler Ninja Belvin spoke about the upcoming release of Modern Warfare 3, talking specifically about the nature of the series' fan base. He became instantly inflammatory, slamming the game and predicting massive waves of bugs and cheaters. Not wrong about that. He's not wrong about that. It follows the formula. But insisting that Call of Duty players are disgusting and mentally abused and they'll keep playing anyway. He's not wrong about that. Like, Call of Duty has become the Madden and FIFA, the shooter franchise. Like, they released generally the same game. The campaign are hit or miss. Like I said, MW2's remake was a terrible story, but the gameplay was good. Like, I'll say, like, I like the gameplay. Modern Warfare 1's story was good for the first half, then the later half it was kind of just generic. I think the best campaign, and this is probably going to light some flames, especially with the Ackman, I like Black Ops 3's campaign, because they had boss fights, they had that big twist. Granted, the twist was very, like, hidden. Like, the big twist is when you find out. I won't say it, but it's actually a pretty good twist. They had, like, loadouts, and they had an additional, like, original Zombies campaign where they reused assets from the main campaign to create an entire zombie apocalypse, which I thought was freaking amazing. I wish more games would do that. Like it just was so cool in my opinion. Yeah, it was completely ridiculous, over the top, generic action movie stuff, but I loved it for what it was. It just reminded me like of 90s action films. Is he right? It wasn't the most outrageous thing Ninja has ever said. Understandably riled the entire community. Well, of course, Call of Duty community players are very sensitive. Let's put it like that. They act like alpha males, but they're very sensitive people. You say anything that even criticizes their game, and they come at you with pitchforks and like torches. In this clip, Ninja said, "The new Call of Duty is going to be riddled with glitches and cheaters when it launches, and it'll take months for it'll take them months to fix one issue. But guess what? The gunplay is going to be good, and the people are going to be jizzing all over the mobility that you disgusting, mentally abused players are going to fall for, and you're going to keep playing it and keep playing it." Making more crude references to a veteran streamer then referenced how Activision Studios placate players by releasing themed skins over time rather than patching out issues. He then said after 8 months viewership will be dead and Call of Duty fans will be playing any other game under the sun, and then the next game will release and the cycle will continue. So a bunch of things. He is right about them releasing skins, but I would say the developers are taking a lot of this heat when they shouldn't. If you know anything about Activision Blizzard, they generally treat their development team like garbage. We've seen situations like the whole sexual harassment allegations. Not to mention, like, you have to remember these developers work on a 3-year cycle with the Call of Duty franchise, and they constantly have to churn out content after content after content, and they're always underpaid and overworked, whereas Bobby Kotick just has to pay for his next penthouse or yacht. Like, we've seen how he treats his employees. He treats them like garbage. So they constantly have to churn out this content. What matters more to Activision is the battle pass and skins. I'm sure a lot of us have seen that when Apex Legends was hacked by Titanfall players in order for them to try and, provide some sort of notoriety about the issues Titanfall 2 was facing. Guess what happened? They didn't care about the fact that Titanfall 2 was being destroyed. It was the fact they cared more about that the store for Apex Legends was under issue. Like, they care more about that. Skins sell. New patches do not sell. That's what happened with the dog skin that was plagiarized from another artist. Like, yeah, what the artist did was completely wrong, but I guarantee that artist was underpaid, overworked, and he just had to try and get something out there to sell for the brand new battle pass. And that's what matters more. It matters more about skins and selling $40 Hellhound skins with crappy blueprints. Because those blueprints suck. Like, even if you play Call of Duty casually, all those skins that come with those crappy blueprints, they always have the worst possible attachments. I don't know why they do that. It's like they just decide, just put what random stuff you can on this gun. They'll buy the skin for the skin, and that's it. And I saw so many people running around with Snoop Dogg and that Hellhound skin, and it was just so, like, oh my god, what Call of Duty has become. Like, I've been playing Call of Duty since Call of Duty 2 on the Xbox 360. I didn't have a PC for playing PC games. I played it on console. And seeing what it's become, yeah, Spawn is going to be the next big skin. So Ninja is right about a lot of this stuff, but he's also wrong about the fact that developers are just trying to keep their job and trying to meet quotas that are just heavily imposed on them. And I will say that a lot of people will say, well, he plays Fortnite. Fortnite is a lot more stable than Call of Duty, mainly because at least Fortnite, they've been updating the same game for years. Whenever they have a huge special event, they make sure that it is a spectacular event. The skins are wild and insane, but it works within the Fortnite universe because it's supposed to be this universe hop-in adventure. And on top of it, at least they try and, deal with the cheaters as much as they can. Like, they go on Twitch and they see someone's cheating, they instantly ban them. Whereas Call of Duty, I know Angry Joe was like, hire someone to look through Twitch and see these cheaters. They're not going to do that because it costs money. Like, you want us to pay someone to make the game better? Fuck that. Like, that's going to cost us money. We're not doing that shit. We need as many C-suite and A-suite bonuses as we can. So they're not going to do anything about the cheaters, because at the end of the day, the cheaters also pay the most money to Activision Blizzard. Look at World of Warcraft, the bot players, the scammers, all of them, the trollers on WoW Classic. Literally, they'll spend $15 a month because they'll constantly buy new subscriptions. They feed within the WoW economy. Like, those people are more likely to buy a new subscription, whereas a person like me, if I get griefed enough or I see too many gold farmers or stuff like that, I'm out. There are other MMOs. There's Final Fantasy 14, and there are free MMOs I can play. Guild Wars 2. Is that free? I'm not sure. Either way, yeah. Like, they're not gonna, like, I'm sure a lot of us have seen these cheaters run around with, like, paid skins and paid, like, cosmetics and all that. They don't care. They will re-download the game, pay for the same skins, and just go on cheating again, because it's just the way they are. It's the way they're wired. They don't give a fuck. So tell me what you think about all of this. I do agree with Ninja in this sense. I'm going to end up buying it because I am mentally abused. Mainly because I have to create guides, walkthroughs, all that stuff. It's going to be the top game of the month along with Spider-Man. So you got to churn out that content as much as you can. But at the same time, I feel like he's going too hard on the developers, even if it's indirectly. So tell me what you think in the comments below. Love to hear other people's opinions. Are you getting Modern Warfare 3? Or are you like deciding it's not worth it? I love to hear people's